Today, Turkey Hill has Haymakers teas, punches, and ciders crafted with simple ingredients. Haymakers from Turkey Hill.
Tonight, breaking news, the deadly rampage inside an American workplace. A fired employee, an Army vet, returning to work and shooting co-workers, authorities say singling them out. We're on the scene. New images tonight, the terror attack in London. The restaurant manager getting people inside, closing the doors, and then trying to hold the door as the men with machetes try to push it open. And what we've now learned about the attackers, the barbecue just days prior. The young father with the baby born just last week. The president's tweets taking aim at the London mayor. Our correspondent asking the White House today, why is he picking a fight with London's mayor right after a terror attack? The trial begins. Bill Cosby and the TV daughter who walked him in today. And the medical emergency behind the wheel, the husband in the next car over, and what he does.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Monday night. And we have two developing stories, new images from inside the London terror attack and the attackers. But first, the horror playing out in this country. A fired worker, an Army vet, returning to the place where he once worked just after his former co-workers showed up for their shift. He slipped in the back door, and authorities say he began singling out his victims. ABC's Steve Osinsami is on the scene in Orlando, leading us off tonight.
Sheriff deputies in Orlando tonight are calling what happened inside this local business an execution.
I don't want to make it too gruesome, but most of the victims were shot in the head. Some were shot multiple times.
They make awnings here for RVs and campers, and just as workers were starting their day, police say 45-year-old John Newman stormed through the back of the building with a semi-automatic pistol in his hand, knives in his pocket, and revenge on his mind. He was fired here in April, and police say he was targeting his former managers and other victims, gunning them down one by one.
Caller heard multiple gunshots. The shooter is still on scene.
46-year-old Kevin Lawson is just one of the 5 people who won't be going home tonight. 8 others made it out alive. Some of their family members are seen here sharing tears at a gathering location down the road. This woman was waiting to find her sister.
She saw one on the floor, is all she said, and she kept saying, "My boss is dead."
Newman was a troubled man, a veteran who police say was arrested for beating someone at this very same business 3 years ago. Charges were not filed. Witnesses say he turned his gun on himself when he heard the sound of police sirens.
And Steve Osinsami with us live tonight from Orlando. And Steve, both the ATF and the FBI responding to the shootings today?
Yes, David, they were certainly here today because earlier there were concerns that this was terror-related. Right now, there's a large police presence outside this man's home. They're hoping they can find some explanation as to why he came here shooting. David?
Steve Osinsami leading us off from Orlando tonight. Steve, thank you. We also have new images this evening from inside the terror attack in London. A clearer portrait of what happened there. People running for their lives, 3 attackers using that van to plow into pedestrians and then jumping out of the van armed with knives. And this new surveillance video tonight showing a restaurant manager holding the door there on the left as the attackers are pushing from the outside, armed with their knives, trying to get inside. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran from London tonight.
Tonight, newly released security camera video reveals the traumatic moments of terror up close. Watch as this restaurant manager hustles people inside. He and patrons barricade the door, close the front windows. One woman peering out sees the attackers, turns and runs. The manager lets more people in and then watch. You can see the attackers approach, trying to enter. A terrifying tug-of-war begins as the manager guards the doorway and forces the door shut just as one of the machete-wielding attackers tries to get inside. A second angle shows the manager holding the door as the attacker pushes. Patrons eventually peeking outside to see if all is clear. And this.
What is he shooting? I'm trying to keep myself safe.
Photographer Gabriele Sciotto caught outside on the street as police open fire on the attackers. Other officers move in, people fleeing the scene. Those moments coming during the 18 minutes of terror that seemed an eternity. At 9:58 p.m., the attack begins. That white van runs off the road on London Bridge, starts ramming pedestrians. At the south end of the bridge, 3 men with long knives get out and start slashing and stabbing people. At 10:08, police are called to the scene, and by 10:16 p.m., All three attackers are dead outside the Wheatsheaf pub, their phony suicide vests failing to keep police at bay. 50 shots fired by 8 officers. Today, the people of London walked back to work on that very bridge amid a show of force by police across the central city and new barricades protecting the sidewalks on several bridges. And we are learning more about the victims. 30-year-old Canadian Chrissy Archibald, who died in her fiancé's arms after being struck by the white van. Her family releasing a statement urging people to volunteer at homeless shelters as a tribute to her, saying, "Tell them Chrissy sent you." London mourned them all tonight at a vigil in Potter's Field. Mayor Sadiq Khan, the first Muslim elected to the office, hurling defiance at the terrorists.
As a proud and patriotic British Muslim, I say this: you do not commit these disgusting acts in my name.
Many here expressing the wound this whole city has suffered.
You know, it's not just the victims, it's everyone else, it's the whole community, it's everyone here.
British Prime Minister Theresa May saying this:
we cannot go on as we are. Enough is enough.
Our chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran joining us live tonight on the London Bridge at the scene of the attack. And Terry, Prime Minister Theresa May was pressed today, asked if these 3 terror attacks in just the last 3 months were in fact related.
And David, she said they are not linked by a common network, but that they are bound together by what she called a single evil ideology of Islamic extremism. And she added in a comment that has drawn praise and criticism, there is far too much tolerance for extremism in Britain. David?
Terry Moran live in London for us again tonight. Terry, thank you. And as you know, Terry, we also have new video tonight of the attackers. Before the attack, a broadcast that included one of the 3 attackers. He is seen in a TV documentary expressing his extremist views. So how did British authorities take their eyes off of him? And tonight we learn he had a newborn, his wife delivering in recent days. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross tonight.
Authorities tell ABC News tonight that the attackers, seen in this video in the midst of their terror rampage, were led by a man known to police for years as a potential threat.
We always ask ourselves, well, should we have known? Could this have been prevented?
It was just last year that the ringleader, 27-year-old Karam Butt, was featured in a documentary aired on the British Channel 4 about a group that openly campaigns for strict Islamic Sharia law. Here, praying before the black flag of Islam and then getting into a confrontation with police.
You're lying! You're lying!
Of the some 3,000 people authorities consider active threats, this group is among the most extreme.
The members of this network, which number probably around in their hundreds, are on the more dangerous end of the spectrum.
A second attacker was identified today as Rashid Redwan, of Libyan or Moroccan descent. Both men come from this East London neighborhood, where police arrested at least 12 people who have all since been released. Neighbors say just days ago, Karam Butt, the father of a toddler and a newborn of Pakistani descent, held a backyard barbecue that some now say seemed like a farewell gathering. Other neighbors told ABC News they called police over the last 2 years to report the threats Butt was making against non-Muslims.
We said, yeah, in the name of Allah, we believe. I'm even ready, if I have to, even to kill my own mother, even she comes against Allah.
Authorities tonight say the 3 men had been waiting for several months to carry out their attack, and that their decision to act was triggered by this message posted by ISIS just hours earlier, urging followers to attack during the holy month of Ramadan with vehicles, guns, and knives.
That's the question. Were they responding to that message? ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack. Brian with us now. Do investigators believe they were in fact inspired by ISIS?
Well, they don't know for sure yet, but we do know the leader of that London group that the attacker belonged to is now in Syria, playing a prominent role with ISIS.
All right, Brian Ross and your team, I know you'll stay on it. Meanwhile, President Trump sparking controversy with his Twitter storm after the London attack, blasting London's mayor. Tonight, our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, asking the White House why pick a fight with London's mayor right after a terror attack there.
The White House today is defending the president's tweets attacking the mayor of London.
Why is the president picking a fight with the mayor of London right after his city was hit by a terrorist attack?
I don't see that the president is picking a fight with the mayor of London at all.
But less than 24 hours after the attack, the president tweeted, quote, "At least 7 dead and 48 wounded in terror attack," and the mayor of London says there's no reason to be alarmed. And just this morning, the president accused the mayor of offering a, quote, "pathetic excuse" for his words. In fact, the president took London Mayor Sadiq Khan out of context. Here is what he actually said.
Londoners will see an increased police presence today and over the course of the next few days. No reason to be alarmed. One of the things the police and all of us need to do is make sure we're as safe as we possibly can be.
The mayor also warned the threat level remained severe.
Severe means an attack across the country is still highly likely, and so we've got to all be vigilant.
The president directly misrepresented what the mayor of London said.
I don't think that's actually true. I think that the media wants to spin it that way. But
You think the mayor was saying there's no reason to be alarmed by an attack on his city? You think that's what he was saying?
Look, I think that the point is there is a reason to be alarmed.
And today, this from the mayor.
So I've really not got time to respond to tweets from Donald Trump. And we aren't going to allow anybody, whether it's Donald Trump or anybody else, to divide our communities.
The president is also using the attack to reignite the debate over his travel ban, now tied up in the courts. Tweeting this morning, the Justice Department should have stayed with the original travel ban, not the watered-down, politically correct version they submitted to the Supreme Court. But he is criticizing his own Justice Department and a so-called watered-down travel ban that he himself signed.
So let's get to Jonathan Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, now a prominent conservative married to White House counsel Kellyanne Conway is also asking the president to stop tweeting about legal issues.
George Conway is a respected conservative lawyer. He is also a supporter of the president, and he is practically pleading with the president to stop tweeting, saying his tweets, quote, "seriously undermine the administration and the president." David?
Married to White House counselor Kellyanne Conway. Jonathan Karl with us again tonight. Thank you, John. Next to Capitol Hill, Congress back to work tonight after a break with that major showdown looming. Former FBI Director James Comey set to testify Thursday about his meetings with President Trump and the memos he kept about the meetings before he was fired. Will President Trump try to stop him invoking executive privilege? Well, tonight we now have an answer on that from the White House. At ABC's Mary Bruce on the Hill.
Tonight, that blockbuster testimony from the fired FBI director is moving forward. The White House now says definitively President Trump won't try to block him.
President Trump will not assert executive privilege regarding James Comey's scheduled testimony.
Sources close to Comey say he's angry after being fired with no warning. On Thursday, he'll get to tell his side of the story. Front and center will be his private conversations with the president. He's preparing to answer questions about those memos he wrote detailing their encounters. What's your one key question from?
We've seen these reports that are attributed to Comey, and the questions are going to be about whether that's how it happened. No one has heard from him directly.
Lawmakers are eager to know, did President Trump ask Comey to pledge his loyalty? Did the president pressure Comey to drop his investigation into fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn? And did Comey tell the president he wasn't under investigation, as Trump claims? Hanging over the hearing, the biggest question of all, is there any evidence of collusion between the Trump team and the Russians?
There is a lot of smoke. We have no smoking gun at this point, but there is a lot of smoke.
So let's get to Mary Bruce live on the Hill again tonight. The committee has requested those memos, as you reported there, Mary, but a lot of questions about whether or not the public will ever see them.
David, lawmakers remain hopeful, but no clear answer yet on when we might see those memos. Regardless, lawmakers I talk with are confident that Comey will be discussing those private conversations with the president. David?
We know you'll be right there on the Hill for us, Mary. Thank you. And to let everyone at home know, on Thursday, ABC News will carry Director Comey's testimony live with a special report beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern right here on ABC. After President Trump's decision to pull out of that international climate agreement, our new poll tonight finding that an unpopular move. Americans opposed the Paris Accord withdrawal by a margin of 2-1, 59% opposing the move, just 28% supporting it. Most told pollsters they feel it will hurt U.S. leadership in the world, and a plurality rejecting the claim that it will boost the economy. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Monday. Bill Cosby's sexual assault trial begins, and the TV daughter who showed up with him. Also, we have new developments in a deadly warehouse fire. Dozens killed, the converted warehouse up in flames, 36 people trapped inside. Police now announcing 2 arrests. We have new developments. The new headline for parents of newborns, the new recommendation when it comes to babies and when they should not be sleeping in your bed. And the medical emergency behind the wheel, the driver in the wrong lane, the husband in the next car over, and what he does. The incredible moment as we continue here.
We asked people to write down the things they love to do most on these balloons.
Travel with my daughter.
Roller derby?
Now, give up half of them.
Do I have to?
This is the tough financial choice we could face when we retire. But if we start saving even just 1% more of our annual income, we could keep doing all the things we love.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
I never miss an early morning market, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep or get up in time. Then, I found Aleve PM.
The only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
And now, I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
I'm Ryan.